thank you for tuning in to another episode of All Day with the Alis. Today on All Day with the Alis, I am going to ask Mr. Ali here a couple of questions. If you're ready for those questions, please stay tuned. So, Mr. Ali, in the wake of Father's Day, in an attempt to pay homage to the journalistic career that I never did quite pursue, I would like to go ahead and ask you a series of questions.
Father's Day.
The reason why I've gone ahead and decided to interview Mr. Ali on this day regarding your role as a father is because I posted a snap on Snapchat. Although I know that Snapchat is dying out, I'm still very much interested in what's going on with the filters on Snapchat. So I still do upload there.
I love your newscasting voice. I love it.
So I posted a snap in case you're wondering what I'm referring to. And in that snap, it was Mr. Ali going over a few flashcards with his 2 children. Now you do have 3 children, I believe, is that correct?
Yes, you're right.
However, one of them is of school age. So he was So he was obviously in school. So Mr. Ali here.
Yes.
Is it safe to say that that was accurate? That you were indeed going over numbers with your 3-year-old daughter and 6-month-old son?
No. Yes, Felicia. Numbers, and might I add, letters as well.
Okay. So I know that this seems a bit funny to those of you who follow All Day with the Alis on the regular basis, and you're probably wondering why it is that I'm speaking in this voice. And the reason for that is because I really need to get your attention drawn to something that's very important within our community, also in the wake of the election.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Sharif.
Yeah.
You would be considered a great dad.
Okay.
I understand that you're not a self-proclaimed great dad, but if one was watching you interact with your children, that it would be safe to assume that you're a great dad. Okay. So I want to know how I have lots of questions, okay? I want to know all about your marriage, and I want to know about your thoughts on and ideas relating to fatherhood.
Okay.
So the first question I have for you is, what would make you go over flashcards with a 6-month-old?
That's a very good question, Felicia.
Thank you.
I hadn't thought about it like that. I don't know, it's just habitual. It's just habitual. I mean, it's something that I did with Sharif, my first son. And I think that Sharif was my case study for everything that I do with the children now. Because I was at home as a stay-at-home dad, and it was just him and I. And so I would speak to him as if I was speaking to you, you know, out of being lonely because it's only 2 people in the house. And
so you're saying that you spoke to Sharif in plain language? I'm just trying to follow where you're going.
Yes.
If you spoke to Sharif. What does that have to do with being lonely?
I can't take this seriously right now.
Take it seriously, because these viewers want to know. I'm sure you're sitting behind your TV or your cellular device and you're thinking, what is it about Sharif that separates him from the average parent? And from my perspective, it's exactly what it is that you're suggesting. You don't treat your children like people that won't one day grow up. What I'm hearing from you, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you believe that it is important to treat your children as equal parties.
I do. And to add to that too, seriously is this. I think everyone needs solitude for success. So I was in solitude in the house with a child, and I had no one to talk to. Yes, I could have called my wife, i.e. you. Yes, I could have called my wife. I could have called anybody else. But, you know, you had work. Other people was busy. I was just at home. And so here I had this child with me. So I'm like, well, let me just talk to you. That was my solidarity. I mean, you look at every great movement, right? Jesus, before Christianity was even like a big thing, he had to do 40 days. He had to be in the desert for 40 days, 40 nights. Freaking Buddhist. Buddha was under a tree for I don't know how many
49.
days. And weeks. Right.
49 days.
Right. So he's under the tree. I mean, it can just go on and on. Like Muhammad for Islam. I
Okay,
mean,
but how does this pertain to your idea that if you...
I like these Oprah interruptions that you're doing. It's so cute.
How does that pertain to the idea that you should go over flashcards with a 6-month-old baby?
Well, just what I said before, I did it with Sharif, and Sharif was like the guinea pig, and it seemed like it was successful for him. Sharif was my friend, you know what I mean? So I did everything with my friend, like that I would do with myself. You know, where I was learning different information from either books or YouTube or the news. He didn't know what that was gonna be like, but I think he could grasp ABC 1, 2, 3.
I have met the young man Sharif, and
have you now?
I have, and I can say, as an onlooker, of course, that he is quite verbal, and he has a lot to add to a conversation. So I think you're onto something here. Now, what I want to know as a parent, because I have children myself.
Okay.
I would like to know what it is that I can do to strengthen my daughter's intellect. Would you have anything to comment there?
I think the best thing that you can do as a parent is to, first of all, be yourself. And the reason why that will help her is because she won't be battling with these demons about, mom acts like this, but I act like this, and I don't really relate to mom. But sometimes as parents, we kind of put on this parental face, like we have it all together in front of our children, and that's not a reality that we want to shape for them.
Thinking about the world around us, we're in this thing, okay? We know what a tree is. We know what the yellow lines in the street are. So what you're saying is these are the things that you should converse with your children about on a simple car ride to the supermarket. Instead of listening to ratchet music or gospel music anyway.
Let me interrupt you just to say this too, right? Any conversation that you may have, any conversation that I verbally had with my children, I've already thought about it in my head. So think about it like this.
Intention is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing intention.
Yes. Intention,
okay.
Yes. But subconsciously, I had to bring it into my conscious mind. So think about it like this. You're driving in the car, you see a stop sign. What do you do when you see a stop sign?
You stop.
How do you know it's a stop sign?
You can read.
You can read. And how can you read? How can you read?
I mean, I developed that skill. Oh, okay.
Because you can see, because you were told, because like it has that color and it's that shape, that octagon shape, or however many sides it is. Like the point is, you had this conversation in your mind. I see the stop sign. It means stop. So just bring what you automatically do into your head and out of your mouth and speak it to your child. Like, it's just that simple. You know, you may know what a tree is, but that doesn't necessarily mean the child knows what a tree is. So just talk about the freaking tree. You talked about the yellow lines or whatever in the street. Talk about that. You're already having the conversation in your head because you know about it already. But don't assume that they do. Like, the world is their oyster. So
this is very, very helpful to me personally, because when I drive in the car, it's typically my talk on the phone time. Or my listen to music time, or my time to be with my own thoughts. So I think that I am definitely going to take away from this conversation what you recommend, which is to constantly engage your children. Okay, so that's one thing I want to ask. Another question I have for you is, you're a young man, and you have 3 children, 3 very small children. Can you talk Can you talk to me a little bit about how this alters or doesn't alter your social life?
It alters it significantly. At times I seldom have a social life, really, which is why, you know, I like doing this on YouTube. So, I mean, there's social time that I can have, but it has to be very planned out. Like, it has to be planned out to the T. Because I mean, at the end of the day, my children are first priority. That's me.
Do you ever resent your children for not necessarily getting in the way, because obviously you had them, they didn't have you. However, do you feel yourself getting short with your children, losing your temper at any time, resenting them, or deciding altogether that, hey, this wasn't the move I should have made for my life?
I never feel resent. Yes, I do get short sometimes with the children, but it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with the extension of what I'm feeling.
I really appreciate your honesty.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Well, I appreciate the questions.
I mean, because as a parent,
yes.
I can personally say that sometimes when things are going on in my head or in my heart, your children are around you the most consistently. And it's very easy to bully them because they are of a weaker vessel. They're younger than you. Their intellect is much less than yours.
And they're always there.
And they're always
there. So it's like having a spouse. Sometimes when you're upset, it's easy to behave a certain way or act a certain way towards your spouse and give off this attitude because they're right there. It's the same thing with the children.
Let's talk about spouses. Mm-hmm. You're married.
Yes.
How many years?
You
don't know how many years you've been married?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so you've been married for who knows how much time in your life.
Sorry, I don't remember.
So in your marriage,
I've been married to her for 5 years.
It's been 6 years, but
it's been 5.
I did my research. It's been 6. You've been married for 6 years.
I've been married for 5 years. 2012 to 2018 is 5 years.
16, 17,
18. Nope.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You went from 15 to 17.
No, I didn't.
13, 14, 15, 16. Why do you keep saying 15, 17? You make me say.
No, babe.
Do you believe?
No.
Do you believe
Oh, he's tired.
that your marriage is hindered because you jumped right into?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. And anybody who thinks that, I don't know, like you got some stuff to deal with. I knew what I was signing up for, being a husband and a dad. I didn't know what it all entailed. That's true. But I knew that it would be a responsibility. So I don't feel any way about my marriage.
So did you know that it would be a responsibility because of your work in the community, because of your outreach and your community outreach, your involvement with the youth at your church, the fact that you basically reared your younger brother or your brother-in-law? What is it that prepared you for fatherhood?
What is it that prepared? All those experiences, really. All those experiences prepared me for fatherhood. But I think in terms of what we were talking about with marriage and not feeling any way about my decision in being married and being a co-parent to the woman that I'm married to, is that my saving grace is most of those things that you named are positions. My wife didn't fall in love with me because of my position. She fell in love with my person. And so knowing that gives me sanity and, allow me to exercise power as a husband and a dad confidently.
So what are some things that, I would like to really grow the minds of my children. That is my focus, to create a safe environment, a happy, loving home. And I want to make sure that my children do what it is that's in their heart. Can you talk to me a little bit about some ways that I can help my children?
3 ways. First of all, be intentional. Be intentional.
What does that mean?
Be on purpose.
I would like an example.
Parent on purpose. Being intentional means that you don't allow your children to wake you up. You allow the alarm clock to wake you up. Get up before they do, so you already have a clear head. When they wake up, ask them how was their sleep. Maybe they want to tell you about a dream. Make sure they have breakfast or give them an option. What do you want today? Yeah, perhaps your child wants to talk about a dream, but because you're rushing in the morning, you can't hear them. You know, I mean, that's one example. So, like,
May I interrupt you? So, hearing your child, what does that mean to you?
So, well, okay. So, to be more specific, seek to understand your children. Is what I'm really trying to say.
But I can see the picture is painted so clearly in my mind. You wake up in the morning, you're rushing, you're like, get your teeth brushed, you wash your face, put your clothes on, iron your clothes, get breakfast. But what you're saying is make time to hear, which I felt that. You're saying make time to hear them. How did you sleep?
Right.
And listen to how they slept.
Right.
But what I'm asking you is, what does that mean in the realm of parenting? Hearing your children, listening, just taking that time to be one with what their words. How does that affect the child?
Well, because Lord willing, your child will have way more adult years than they do child years. And so because the child years are shorter than the adult years, you want to make sure that your child is heard, that they feel as if you're listening to them, because that builds confidence. It makes them a better adult. And so that's what I mean. You know, if I'm talking to you as an adult and I'm saying something that I think is serious to me, if I want to talk about the red crayon that I just broke, that's serious to me. It may not be serious to you, but serious to me. And I'm talking about it, and you're in your phone texting or scrolling through social media or saying, okay, just hold on. I don't feel heard. And I'm an adult and I feel that way. So imagine as a child, they feel everything like magnified. So you don't want to build those insecurities in your children.
I mean, what I'm really taking away from this conversation, and please, that's just the start of what I want to hear from you. But what I'm really taking away from this is you treat your children with respect.
Yeah.
Now, respect is a word that I've just really become familiarized with. You hear this word,
watch. Like, this is respect. Shut your mouth! Respect.
That's actually disrespect. Dad is just kidding.
I'm just kidding, babe.
What I'm learning about respect is it's not so much, you hear these phrases, you don't gotta like me, but you're gonna respect me. But what you're saying is meaningful to me in the sense that you're saying I respect my children enough to listen to them. I respect my children enough to engage with them. I respect my children enough to like them.
Now that is a heavy hitter. That's deep, guys. That's deep. Listen, because there's things about my children, not so much Saj right now because he's too small, but there's things about Sharif and Saya that I may look at and I'm like, and it makes me look at them like, I don't like that in you. And then I start to interpret that, and then it translates into frustration with them. Because really what's happening is, I may see something in them that I don't like about myself. And so I get frustrated with them. And that's not cool. Respect your children enough to like the parts about them that you like, and to also appreciate and thank God for the parts about them that you don't really have to have. Like, if your child throws a temper tantrum because they're walking down the candy aisle and they ask you for a candy and you say not today, and they're like, ah! You may not like that at all. You may want to say, when we get in the car, but appreciate that part about them.
Why would you appreciate that?
Why would you appreciate it? Because once you appreciate something, you start to value it. Once you value it, you start.
So are you telling me to value my child's temper tantrum?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why?
Because if I have a piece of gold in my hand, I know the gold's value. Not just because it's this shiny object in my hand, but I know that it's gold. You can only value something that you know. So your child is like that golden nugget. If they're throwing temper tantrums or doing things that you don't think is proper, you still appreciate that that's in them, because that's what's making that person. Like, the good and the bad is what makes that person. Like a diamond. You know what I mean? Like, a diamond has to be crushed. It has to have imperfections to actually make it this perfect thing to sell to people for thousands and thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing with your children.
So, in this statement, I heard you say, "Not today."
I said not today.
You said "not today," and I love the fact that you don't even remember that you said "not today."
No, I don't.
You didn't say no. You said your child is having a temper tantrum in the candy aisle, and they want this candy, and you say "not today." Why not no?
Because no is so. No can be so definite but indefinite, right? Your child doesn't have a concept of time, really. So if they're hearing no, there's like, oh my God, I'm never. You say no, they hear never.
Okay, I love that. I love that.
If you say not today, even though they really don't have that much of a concept of time, they may interpret it as not in this moment. Maybe today means not in this moment. So that means when we get in the car, I can ask for the candy, they'll change their mind. And then you keep saying not today, not today.
Well, I've also heard you use not yet.
Not yet.
Just from my research on you. I've also watched enough All Day with Ali vlogs to know.
And I was just about to say that, yeah.
That I've heard not yet. So no is never in your household?
No is never for my toddler children in my household.
Okay.
No is a word that I believe is too responsible for a small child. I think in terms of when a parent says it to their child, because they don't have a concept of time. When Sharif and Saya start to get older, I say around the ages of 7, 8, 9, no may come out more because they understand no. And I want them to be able to exercise the power of no as well. But once the point of what I'm saying is when they start to understand like time, when they actually understand I'm waking up today and it's Monday, and Monday is Monday, and Tuesday is Tuesday, when they start to understand that, then we can start to incorporate no into the language. Because no is also healthy, especially for adults to have. But they're not ready for that word yet.
So are you teaching your 5-year-old the days of the week and the months of the year and time?
Yes.
So, because he's not a toddler.
School is teaching him, but I taught him first.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about that. So you believe that education starts where?
Home.
Okay. So around what ages? I mean, I know that you began showing your. So you think that, or you've been teaching your children since birth?
Birth.
So what sorts of things do you do with your birth child?
So, for instance, my wife, I won't take any credit for this because she's the one who incorporated this. When I started to change Sharif, his diaper, she would say, don't just rip the diaper off and wash him and put the Vaseline on. Lead him step by step on what's going on. So it gets so specific that it's like, I'm taking off your left sticker, taking off the right one. Now I'm sliding it off. Ooh, I have to put the rag under the water. Let you feel this. It's warm, right? You know, like going step by step and letting your child see what's going on. I mean,
so that's very intentional.
It is very intentional.
Rag under the water. That just grabbed my attention. Do you use diaper wipes? What are those?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes, but the first option is using a rag, or what's a better word? A cloth.
Okay. So let's delve into that. You believe that the first option.
Oh, thanks, baby.
You believe that the first option should be a natural option?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I think that it helps the parent to pay more attention to their children.
Really?
Yes. And like, I know it's an extra step. You could get a wipe and just boop, boop, boop. But sometimes parents make mistakes. You know, you could have left the diaper on for too long, and then your child has a little rash, and you don't see it because sometimes those rashes can be red, but your child is already sort of like a red bone anyway, so you're not really. So you take that wipe and put it on that diaper rash. How do you think that feels? It stings like a mother. So it's best to use that rag, or the cloth, excuse me. It's best to use that cloth to wipe their bottoms. That's just me. That's my personal preference.
In the time that we've spent together, what I've taken away from this so far is that you engage with your children.
Correct.
That you are intentional about your parenting.
Correct.
And that you consider them.
Correct.
Wow. I am completely blown away at the steps that you've presented today of what it means to be a parent. And it is my hope that anyone watching this understands that when you have a child, it's not a fad. This is something that you must be intentional about. And then you're also implementing. Wow. I am completely blown away with you, Mr. Ali. I mean, I am an even bigger fan walking away from this.
I appreciate that.
You are really incredible, sir.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't want no beef with your wife, but I mean, I am wowed by this. I am walking away a new person because of my conversation with you today.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate the Lord in you.
Yes.
I appreciate the love in you, that I'm feeling even in this moment. You are being so gentle in your responses to me.
Thank you.
And I am just like, thank you. And as always, guys, when something seems bad, please turn it around and make something good. Thanks for watching All Day with the Alis. It's your girl, Shifi Ali, and Mr. Aim.